Hello, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to episode number 8 of the series Let's Make an Amiga Game in Assembly. I'm going to remind you where we were or what we did last. So, we assemble our game, given that I hit the right key. So, there are a few things that I need to do today. First of all, you notice that the HUD where Phaze101 is written needs some update. Also, I'd like to improve the joystick routine so that when he is in the middle, the sprites go faster because he is falling. When he is on the right, he goes slower. So those are like now, even the joystick routine, the handling of it is too fast. So we need to slow it down. Of course, because it's a simple game, not much happening except avoiding things. So that's so we have 3 things to do. 1, I want to improve the joystick routine. 2, I want to improve the HUD. And 3, I want to improve what's on the HUD, the text. I want to make it look like a game, basically already. To be fair, this is episode number 8. I think we are more than half, or we've done more than half of the game personally. I think, because I haven't written it yet, but I think we've done. The only thing that really remains that is difficult is collision detection. Once we've done that, the rest I think is just displaying a screen for the intro, etc. So it's not the end of the world. However, while we are at it, I just want to remind you what we are building or what we will build fully. So, my friend Massimo Bonucci wrote this game for the Commodore 64, and we are converting it to the Amiga. So the aim of the game is to avoid, you see, but when he is in the middle, it goes faster. Okay. The aim of the game is to avoid what's in the tube. Let's say that. Right now, my HUD doesn't have energy and depth neither. Okay. Initially, it will be numbers. Then we will convert it into a bar or energy bar. And you can see the energy bar decreasing as long as you hit those. If you stay for long into the middle, you will die. Okay? So this is what we're trying to build. It's a simple game to get you into assembly and doing something which is fun. So let me close this. Before I continue, I always have to make this little advert. So, and give you news. I've released episode number 24 of the book of Fabio Cicci regarding the programming the Amiga. There is still episode 47, okay? Sorry, 46, 47 is this week. But they are only available on Patreon, okay? However, I'm still releasing one each week, so eventually what I do each week, it will catch up and they will all be there. It's only fair for my supporters that they get to see the streams or the edited video before others. Same thing as we have on Patreon, we have it on Coffee. Okay, as you can see, some of them are already unlocked and some are logged. So for example, the Let's Make a Game, there is episode 6 and 6.5, let's say that, or part 2 of the debugging of it there. If you would like to join us, you either come to Telegram, we have a Facebook, Telegram Phaze101 chat channel, or you come to our Discord, Phaze101. If you look it up, you should find it. If not, you have the links on the top right-hand corner of the screen where you can join. Most people come to Discord, I have to say. There is more than about 120 people already. So, yeah, and I take pride in helping anyone in relation to assembly. So, if you really want to get help, that's the place to be. And when I say assembly, Amiga and Commodore 64 assembly or 6502. What I did not say here is, please, it's the only thing I ask, subscribe to our channel and like our videos. That's all I really ask. If you want to support us, you're more than welcome, and thank you very much in advance. But I will still help you whether you support me or not. Notice also I have this page with all links related to Amiga assembly. Okay, so if you really want to start learning Amiga assembly besides my videos for how to code in Amiga assembly, you also have this page. If you go in the chat and type book page, you should get the link to the book page. So that you have access to all of it. This page, I update it as I go along, so it's being updated. It's not that I did it once and that's it. Every time I see something that should be is related to programming Amiga, then I go and update it. That's mainly it. For now, we can close this and we return back to our assembler. Before I actually go to the assembler, one of the Mega Style members is or did some of the graphics for the game. As you can see, I was showing the panel earlier, but I have, let's say, an updated version, and I added this part here so that the graphics, the HUD will look better when we write to it. Last week we updated the print routine, so today I am hoping that the print routine will look as it should once we convert this image. He also did, let me see if it will show up. Yeah, he also did some more sprites in relation to the game. So we will be converting all these, or I will be showing. I mean, to convert them on, it will be annoying, to be honest, you watching, and I'm just, but I will convert one or two so that you see the process, and then I will do the rest offline. When I share the code, I mean, the code is public on Mega. I share, you can go to the link and get it. Let me share the link. It should be here, I believe. Yeah. Here is the source code for the first 6 episodes. However, once I start releasing the other episodes, you will get the zip files with the code, and the zip file will have everything that I have done today. So zip file number 1 is with video number 1, and it is all that you need for that video. So that's why I did it like that. I could have done it with GitHub, but I think some people will get confused if I do it with GitHub. So to keep it simple, I believe in keep it simple. You download the zip file that you need for the video that you are watching, and that's basically it. More simple than that, I don't think it can be. I'm not sure if Mega will allow you to download immediately, or you'll have to create an account. But anyway, if you create an account, you get 20 megabytes free. So you might as well enjoy that space for something of your own. So anyway, so the first thing we need to do is, as I said, so today I'm not going to start from the graphics side. I'm going to start from the code side, because last time I left the code for the last part of the stream, and I didn't like it, because then I sort of rushed it. So today I prefer leaving the graphics at the end of the stream and talk about the code. So we need to do I still have, okay, so let's find the read joystick routine. So read, there it is. Okay, so right now our routine, our read joystick routine is very simple. Also, I'm going to show it here. If I scroll, yeah, actually I'm already there. This is our main game loop, okay, from where there is the mouse. So we have an option to exit the game. Normally you don't exit the game, but because we are still developing it, I have the option of exiting the game. And we have done these routines, and we are going to update this one, which is part of the game loop. What is annoying me is that to slow down the joystick routine, okay, I commented them out now. I mean, last time I commented them out, but we need to remove these, okay, and instead create a delay so that the joystick routine is not read every frame. That means it's being read. Can you imagine reading the joystick 50 frames per second? Why would you do that? You don't need to. It's waste of processing time in a way. So we will slow it down how many times we read it, and we will do a counter, and every frame, remember, games are synced against the screen refresh rate, okay? So you always have to sync when they say a game is 50 frames per second, is because of that. you sync it against the frames. So I'm going to remove this so that it will be clearer how it looks. And it makes more sense. This is our loop. So what remains in the actual game is these three. Okay, so one is animation of the player, collision detection, and then update the HUD. By updating the HUD, it means, I mean, if we avoided an enemy, we have sort of a counter that increments. If we collide it, we lose a life. So we need to update the HUD there also. So, and then we loop, and this goes and goes and goes. So to update the joystick routine, we need some sort of counter. So this counter will be initialized somewhere, and we do sub quick, and every time we subtract one, and we call it uh, um, joy delay. Let's call it like that. And if we have not reached 0, okay, we exit from the routine. So we come here and that's it. So right now I'm just implementing the counter. Okay, so then in our, let's say where we have the data for the game, here, okay, we need the same thing. We need the joy, what we call it, joy delay. Okay, so I'm just thinking if I'm doing it in the right place, but I should, I believe. So we already have force speed, but we have not really implemented force speed. Okay, let's do joy. I don't know if you realize I'm obsessed with commenting, and I have certain style also, because assembly doesn't give you, you know, the editors don't give you blocks of editing or something like that. I like to divide the code in using comments in blocks, and this means when you see, I explained this in the first episode, when you see like this, it means it's a routine, and when you see just this, it means part of a routine, so commenting part of a routine. So here in this case I'm commenting a constant, and I group constants, so like what I did here for the sprite player X and Y. Anyway, in assembly you have to be picky about documentation because you forget. In high-level languages it's not so. I mean, you still need to document, but you can, let's say, not be so strict. Okay. Yeah, I hope. Any code that I add today, before I post it, I add the comments, because during the stream I don't always add all the comments, but before I post it on Mega, the comments will be there fully. So this is joy delay, and we have, it's a byte now, so define constant byte, and actually let's make it because let's make a constant to it. Let's make joy, so we can change the constant, and like that we don't even need to remember to do anything to the code. Joystick frames. How many frames we're going to skip? And because it's an even, because it's an odd, we need to add even always. So because we're at this, what we do now, right now, the code is um, in one file. Normally, okay, I do not work with one file. I'm going to show in a future episode how we will divide the code into multiple files. The reason being, I mean, I want the routines related to the player in one file, the routines related to the HUD in one file, the routines related to collision in another file, and things like that. And the reason being that if when you have one long file, you take time. If you notice, I'm taking time to find it, but luckily Visual Code provides this, so it's easy to scroll or find the routine. And thirdly, it's not so it's so I can say it's not so neat. It's better if it's divided in multiple files. So now I need to, and let's do this 10. So every 10 frames, so every 10 frames, we read the joystick. So that's the first part of the joystick routine, and I believe we have done it with it. That is all to it. Okay, the first part. So let's see if what I'm saying is going to work. Let's see if the joystick routine will. Oops, hold on. I need to be in. Click on the desktop. It's not working, but I'm not sure if I have the joystick enabled in the emulator. Yes, it is. Oops. Okay, so okay, it's obvious what is the mistake, no? So we said we read the joystick every 10 frames. Yeah, but when we finish, okay, I'm not resetting it, so I need to load the frame, what I said here. This was a good example of typical mistake. So here we need to have move dot byte immediate joystick frames. This thing of completion of it's so annoying sometimes the way it works. Comma joy delay. So basically we need to initialize it now again. Okay. And we should be fine now, I hope. So Yeah. Thank you, Silver. I mean, I read the message too late. But yeah, I needed to reset the counter. So yeah, and you can see now it does make sense. The joystick, it's not as fast as before. We can even slow it more down. Um, for now, it is fine. Of course, we do not have collision detection, so nothing is going to happen when the player hits with the other sprites. What I want to add now is when it's in the middle, I want the speed to increase. Okay, the 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 delay when the player dies, we will have to implement it later on because we do not have HUD, etc. But we can include the speed by which it falls down. Right now, it's being decremented by 1, the sprites, but we should correct that. So, but Silverhead, really good. You're following, my friend. Okay, so now what we do for the right, it will be done for the left. Okay, so once I do it for the right, it's just copy and paste. Basically, it's obvious, no? Um, so how shall we do this? We have sprite X, and we read. So this part, we need that. No, that needs to be separate. What I am not, man, I can leave it like that. I can leave it like that. I was going to create a constant for the hardware address register, but for now, let's leave it like that. We can call it joyport2 or something like that. But yeah, this part, so now, even though we will not be jumping to it, let's call this test right, no? Now, this part is still valid. We test for um, right. If not, we jump to left. So that is correct. Now we need to do the player, whether he moves right. We have that, but we need to do a check. So we need to do a check. If the player is on the right, we do not move it more, no? And we have that. And then we branch to the end. So this part is also correct. Then we need to check we are in the middle. Okay, so this one is also correct. We are moving to the right because now hold on. I need to reason this better. So far, so good. Still here, so good. Let's go to make sure. Now we need, yeah, it's now when we test if we are in the middle or not. So middle. If we are in the middle, we increase speed because we can be on the left far side. Once we move one, we are in the middle, no? Because this says we are moving to the right. So if we were completely to the left, if we remove one, we come into the middle now, and that's when we need to increase the speed. So here, increase the speed, and then we need to add 16 to the 0. Yeah, because in the 0, in register 0, we have the x value of the sprite. Then we compare if we are in the middle. So these labels, I have already created them in last, these constants, middle, right, and left. They have been created in the last episode. So, and then if we are not, not equal s, we check the last part. We check if we are at the far right, because we could be in the middle and then move to the right. So are we on the right side now, or move to the right side? So we are checking for for every position basically, because left, middle, right, in that direction. So if we are in the right side, then leave it for now. Let's not do that. Let's do if we are in the middle. So if we are in the middle, I should have actually, that should be here, and this here is a check, no? This player in the middle. So then we do default speed. I guess I have the fall. No? I thought I had the no, I created the memory location for it, but I didn't create a constant. So if I look here, for speed, where is it? No, these are the constants. So I created this and I assigned it 1, but what we need is something that changes here. So what I need to do is create in constants in here where we have the game constants. I need default speed. Yeah, so for that we need, let's say, default speed, and we do fast fall equal to, no, 2 should be fine, and normal fall that could be 1, like what we are doing. So then in here, yeah, we can do fast fall. And what did I name? I already forgot. Fall speed. Okay. So now we change the speed from 1 to 2 because we defined fast fall as 2. So then all we need to do is so this part, what we have here, but where I need to edit, no? So the logic behind it now. That goes actually, this goes in the update player. So, okay, so here all I need to do is move. So we need to do actually something else. Move.word it's 0, comma spritex. It's case sensitive, so you need to get them right. And then this one, we do not need this anymore. And we go to the end. So that is correct. However, if we are not in the middle, we need to change the speed to normal speed. So basically, so this is normal fall, and we move the 0 to spritex and end. And this one, we call it, we are on the right side now. So let's see if my reasoning is correct here. So we are doing moving from left to right so far. So that's why I wrote test right. So moving left to right. We will have test left, no? So this one will be test left. And here we arrived at the right side. So this should be fine, I think. Because although we are setting the speed, nothing happens because we need to go and update the player with that. So for now is okay. Now here it's a matter of copy and paste basically. but the opposite way around. So we are on the right side and we're going to start moving towards the left side. So this is correct. This should be correct. If we are at the left side, we do not need to do anything. And then here, so here, this player in the middle, this code needs to be copied. This we do not need it, or at least I think I do not need it. This should be left side now, and here we should have sub now. So, and then compare it if we are in the middle. If we are not, we go to left side. If we are, we set the speed, we move the 0 to sprite X and jump to the end. If we are moving towards the left side, then we change the speed again to normal fall and jump. This we do not need because it's the last thing. So let's see. Now update player. So let's find update player. Update player. So somewhere here we need to change the speed, but probably it is in the move sprite, the speed. Noticing this routine how I wrote it. So let's do move sprite. Move sprite. Somewhere I have subtract -1 or something like that. Sub. Where do I have sub? I don't have sub anywhere. Because the X and Y are there. So so let's go back to the update player. The X and Y are being updated. Trying to remember what I did, I don't know, a week or 2 weeks ago or more, which is turning out to be more tough than I thought, because this is what happens in assembly when you don't continue on it. It can be challenging. So fall speed, where I'm controlling the fall speed, it should be move sprite. Hold on, move enemies. because I'm okay, this is the mistake. So it's the enemies that will increase and go towards the player. So that's where we need to increase the speed. So it's not move sprite. I mean, this should be renamed to move player, to be honest. But right now, let's leave it like that. And then when I'm organizing, I will change that. So update enemies. Update enemies on screen. There you go. And actually, I already have set up the speed. So because before it was always 1, but now it's going to change. This force speed is going to change depending on what we wrote in that routine. So that makes it even more simple. Was more thinking than actually doing. If we run it, oops, and of course we have some label which is case sensitive. Which label we're talking about? Ah, .test.write. So let's find an update. Not update player, read joystick, and there you go. Of course, it needs that, and that's what I did. Control S works here, okay? Not like Go. Okay, we have another one. I had this thing of case sensitivity. I need to figure out which option it is to disable it in the assembler. It's for laziness, I haven't done it, to be honest. Do it again. So we are saying read joystick dot left. Okay, dot left. Where do we have dot left? I think I have dot left not defined, I guess. Yeah. That should be left side. So I'm just making sure that because I forgot where it was pointing, that one. It should be test left. It should be test left. Let's see. Okay, success. Let's see if I will jump with joy or smash the keyboard. Okay, yeah, and it's not moving. That is not right. That is definitely not right. So somewhere we have a slight bug. So it's better if I work on this side for some reason, because I have these on this side. I'm finding it more comfortable being on this side than on here. So what do we have wrong? So this part is fine. This is the reset part, so this is fine. Now, sorry, not the reset, the delay part. Here we read the joystick, so that is fine. Then we test in which direction we are going. So we are moving towards the right side. So we compare if we are at the right side already. If we are at the right side, we exit. If not, are we in the middle when we add 16? If we are not, line. Oh yes. Good spot. Wow, good spot. Yeah, I forgot the hash. There you go. Did I forget it also on the other one? Yeah, of course, because I did copy and paste. Spot on, my friend. So now, hopefully, it will work. Yeah, definitely those two lines. Yeah, definitely. But we still have a bug somewhere because it's not going to the right now. So it moved left, but right it doesn't want to go. Okay, so what do we have? Not moving towards the right, so it is in this part. Are we jumping to it? Left side. That's not left side. It should be test left. Test left. That's what it should be. I knew when I was looking at it before, something didn't click. So let's hope it is okay now. And of course, we make the screen bigger. So yes, it's moving now. So notice when I put it in the middle, boom, the speed is increased. Okay, and then it slows down again. So this will, when we are doing the collision detection, we need to check for two positions because we are varying the speed. And it's in my head, okay? I do not know how to explain it, but I know that I need to check for two positions, not just one. But yeah, it's doing what I wanted to do. Okay, so, and that took us an hour, so that's why today I'm happy. Well, not an hour, because in the first 50 minutes maybe I was talking blah 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 blah, but still 45 minutes is quite a bit. And so now I want to update this. Okay, I will show you what I'm going to do. I mean, I've removed these dots. Okay, so that when I write here I should be able to have the proper HUD, let's put it this way, or be able to have a HUD the way I want to have. So now let's jump to our screens. Let's see if I, oops. So let's find the screen again, dark blue, because we made several versions of it. Now I am, yeah, this one. So I already edited this part, okay? So now I'm going to, I already saved it also as IFF. So I'm going to show you how to convert it again, just a refresh in a way of what we did last week, and then use the print routine. Afterwards, we will start converting the sprites. So we will add more sprites to the game. I will not delete what I have. And the reason why I will not delete is because we have not yet implemented the color system for the sprites. That has to come later on. The sprites, and this helps me explain it. So our screen uses the first 16 colors, okay, and the sprites are using the second row colors, or the second row of the colors. So the Amiga had 32 colors. However, well, you could display 32 colors at one time on the screen. In theory, you could do more, but for now, I'm trying to explain it as simple as possible. If you watched my series of the Amiga book, then of Fabio Ciucci, then you know that there is more to it. But because we are using 4-bit plane, we get 16 colors. So the first row is this 16 colors. And the second row, the sprites always use from color number 16 to color number 31. So I already saved this as IFF. So we go to the Amiga, and I bring my Amiga now. Now this is not the same Amiga that you see when I run from Visual Code, okay? This is the Amiga that I normally develop on. The extension provides an Amiga on its own, so it's a different VM basically. So let's load the picture. Load the image. We go to volumes. Not region. Huh. Why am I having I'm having a volume missing? Of course. I started the wrong VM. Yeah. Boom. I needed to start this one. So yeah, does it look right, or it looks like a bit stretched? Anyway, I think it looks okay. So personal paint as always. Personal paint takes some time to load for some reason I did some update and I think I screwed up a bit personal paint, but anyway, it does the job, so I didn't go into it yet. I need to see why it is slow. I mean, this is 7.3 and I had 7.1 before, and something is not right. So volumes, and there you go, the toolchain part. We are working in this version, and we have the GFX, and we have P101, and we load the background dark blue, if I'm not mistaken. Background blue, this one. Yes. Now, you will, I said this also last week, but I'm going to remind you, when you use a tool in on Windows and they save an IFF file, most tools that you use on Windows, when you save an IFF file, they save 256 colors, even if you are using 16 or 32. As you notice, this image has got 32 colors, but here I have 256. The others are all black. Windows does not remove the other indexes, so you need to load it into something like Personal Paint or dpaint. I prefer Personal Paint, it has better drivers, and change the image format again and make it, I'm going to make it 16 colors because it's useless having 32. And we convert it. Yeah, it's saying that current format is 256 and we are changing it to 16 color, which is fine. I do not have, because I like standard Amigas, my Amiga is not using JIT or things like that to make it fast. It's literally, if you had an Amiga 68030 is the speed that you would get with a 68030, and simple like that. I do not like super fast Amigas. Unreal Amigas do not exist for me. Okay, so we converted it. So now let's save it. Some people write code for an Amiga that is imaginary, and that I do not like at all. And do not make that mistake, because you will get people complaining that they cannot run whatever you do, they cannot run it, especially on real hardware. So let's call it 01 to make a difference. So it saved it. Now we need to save it raw. So we go and use the tool to convert it into raw. Using AGA IFF. Make sure you have version 2.9, I think is the last one. Okay, version 2.9. Unfortunately, I cannot make it bigger than it is, this part. Now we load our IFF image. This process might sound tedious, but trust me, if you need to code for the Amiga, you need to know this process. How to convert images and make them available to the Amiga. You can also load images into your game which are IFF, but because our game is too small, it doesn't make sense to use IFF. And also, it's you need to understand more. So I do not want to go into that detail. I would be confusing you. So GFX, and this is our one, the blue 01. There you go. So now remember, we need raw standard, we need it as a file, and we need the colors at the end of the image. So not top, not at the beginning, but at the bottom. 12-bit because it's OCS what we are doing, and then we save. It's telling you the size down here, okay, and we can save it. Again, we go to the directory, and we save it with the name that we have given it, but raw. Okay, so now we have a raw image. Now, right now we do not need the Amiga anymore. This Amiga, I need to move or make a copy of that into the, let me do it without, under the GFX directory, paste. Okay, so under here, so in graphics, GFX, okay, oops, I closed it. I have, come on, open. This is the image that we just created, okay? So now what we need to do is go and tell it to load it, and that is at the end of the file. So now I'm leaving all the images that we try to load. I'm commenting them out, and so that you can go backwards and see what we did. And the image name is BG. Okay, blue 01. Draw. So let's hope that again, what do I have missing? Okay, define name, I have something wrong in it. So it is background dark, background DRK, blue 01. It is there. Oh, PG, my god. Okay, so now we should have our image, and let's hope that the print routine is going to work, as I think it's going to work. I'm really doing fingers crossed right now. Yeah, not exactly as I wanted, but at least it is visible. I did not want the black there, but that for now will do. Doesn't matter. I know what the issue is. So let's basically we need to fix this. I need to go on promotion, okay? Change the index color where it is. So I need to change it to different index when I'm printing, so that the color combination doesn't produce black but produce this color, this one that you see here. So anyway, it's fine for now. so that we don't waste more time going into the promotion, edit the colors, and then saving it again, etc. What we need to do now is I want to start like having a HUD, not, start making it look like a game. Let's put it this way. And so we need this side now, and we need the HUD where we wrote the HUD text. Okay, so remember we changed the code so that the print routine we tell it the line where it needs to print, and if it reads FE it means end of line. If it reads FF it means end of text. We can add more to it, and I do have other things in my head, but for now these will do. So we will start writing by for this one we'll do Mr. Pooh, let's put it this way, and then I'm going to call it for now. If somebody comes up with some name, tell me please. Jen POK, I think. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's fine. We have 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8. So that should be fine, 8. We need, so this would be line 2 and 3, because line 1 we have the frame, so line 2, line 3. Then we need score. For now let's do score, and that let's put it line, oh wait, yeah, like that, and do score. Then we need the value of the high score. This will be a bar eventually, but for now let's do numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's the maximum that we can have. 8. So that should be fine. Maybe it will look better if I do a call like that. Then we need, I'm going to put high score, but actually one will be the energy, and the other one will be the, I forgot what he call it, but for now let's do them high score and score. Actually, I'm forgetting something. We need likes also. The original game doesn't have lives, but for now let's do likes. So this will have likes, and I will also do colon, and this will be high score. Probably will have to swap, but for now I'm just forming a dashboard somehow. That's the main thing behind it. So let's do, what's the next one? 14, 15. 15, 15. Yeah, roughly same distance, and this should be 20, 21. Now this, we cannot have so many lives, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that makes sense. And it starts with 3. Yeah. So we have high score, and then let's do, but this has to be at the end. So we have, in total, we have 32 lines, 32 possibilities on the Amiga, 32 rows of text if we use 8x8 text. So the last one we cannot use, so 31 we cannot use, so we use 29 and 30. 29, 30, and I don't know, just to try, and here if it fits, Phaze101, it should fit. So let's see how it will look. Okay, we have a small bug, but that's easy to fix. You're noticing that it's starting column, it's always starting on the border, so we need to shift it by 1. So as I said, the issue of the color will change because where is black will become blue, and where is blue will become black by swapping the indexes. But for now, we leave it as it is. It still makes sense. It's still okay. So let's fix the where it's starting to write, and that I believe is an offset which we have defined somewhere in the constants, if I'm not mistaken. This is, I wish I can start coding it and do not stop till I end. Yeah, the row offset, this should be 31 now, because we are always starting. Just to remind you, what is this row offset? So when you have a screen 8x8 now, you have, if the screen resolution is 220, that means you have the possibility, if your font is 8x8, you have 40 columns, okay? Because we cannot write from column 0, okay? We move to column 31. So now if I run it, this should be okay, unless I created another bug somewhere else. Because sometimes you change something and boom, there you go. It is in the middle, or it looks like in the middle. So it doesn't look bad as it is. It looks like at least that we have a game, okay, even though the colors are inverted, but it's okay. I'm just thinking if there's something that we should move. This core probably needs to move one space to the right. Yeah, that's the only one. The others are all in the middle. We can even make lives on one line, but for now let's do it on 2 lines like all the rest, because everything is on on 2 9s. So let's keep it like that. Okay, so back to where we had here, and we adjust this. And so now this should be fine. Yeah, it is fine. Okay, so far, my God, I am surprised how uh, everything is going smooth. But maybe I should not um, talk and say these things, because things will go wrong, especially in assembly. So yeah, I hope you are understanding. If, as I said, if you have any difficulties, please ask. So now I want to import the new sprites. The sprites is a different story than what I showed for the graphics, for the background. It's still part of the process, still the same, but then it changes. So let's go back to um, promotion and show you something first. So I said that the colors for the sprites are these down here. Okay. Now, when we are going to save the sprites, we are going to lose this information. Okay. So we will need to take note of the colors that we have here. In theory, okay, we should not lose it, okay, like what we did. But because I will be dividing them, okay, eventually I will lose it unless I do something about it. And there are ways of how to extract just the colors from the color numbers that we have in the image, which I will be showing. But first we need to load it again in personal paint, so that part is the same. So I already saved this as IFF in Windows, okay, by using promotion. So why did I go back into promotion? I need the Amiga. So did I close? No, I did not. Now, this is the beauty of the Amiga. Having the screens like this, I wish Windows can do this. I really wish. This is such a cool thing, but not even the Mac can do this, so, or Linux. But anyway, so we bring this forward. We push this backwards. That's what I should say. And this backwards. And we get this. So now let's load our image. There it is, the sprite IFF. One other thing, I know that we are in Windows, we are used to, or Linux or Mac, we are used to give long file names. Don't do it on the Amiga. Not because it cannot take them, But look what happens if you have a long file name. You will not be able to see it. There is no horizontal scroll bar. There's only vertical. Okay, this was fixed uh, in new versions of the OS, but I'm using the old version, 3.1. So there is no, here I do not have a horizontal scroll. So if the file name is long and they all start with background dark, blue, whatever, then how are you going to see which file you are clicking on? So I have the habit of using short file names on the Amiga. So our sprites are hidden. You see the full screen by pressing F10 and F9. Okay, those are our sprites. Okay, so now we need to do like what I did before. Notice I have 256 colors here. Okay, even though it's black, and change the image format to, I'm going to keep it, 32. Okay, so that I have these sprite colors, and I will tell you in a minute why. I'll show you in a minute why. So yeah, proceed. So there is a bit of fiddling. I wish there was a tool that does this in Windows. That's all this. But for some reason, when you save IFF, they always save in 256 colors. And I believe it does that because AGA, remember we're working on OCS. AGA is 256 colors. I don't know. There should be an option to ask you how many colors you want to save in for the IFF file, but everybody seems to be lazy. The programmers of today. Anyway, I do not want to quit. So now we go back into our tool, the AGA to IFF, and we load. Did I save the image? I forgot if I saved it or not. Save image. Did I save it on top of the other one? I think I did because I'm seeing the file size. Yeah. Just in case now. Save it. Yeah. Or let's give it another name. Proceed, and it saved it. Okay. Where did workbench go? There it is. Okay, so let's load the sprite image. So now it's when it's going to change, okay? Because these are our sprites. We say okay. There are different ways of doing this. I'm going to show one or two. It depends which ones I think is best. But The first one is I'm going to tell you that it's a sprite. There you go, it's a sprite. It can save the colors, but we're going to have no colors. Okay, and I'm going to, because it's going to try to save the whole image. Now what I want is not a file, binary file, but I need the assembler directive define constant block. Oops, oh, come on, that one. So I'm going to select the image again. Now I want, let's say, the first. I'm going to skip the first one. I want the second one. So here, down here, you have the position from where you start, and each sprite is 16 pixels wide. So, and the first position is 0, 0. So here, if we go on 16, okay, we should be able to select our sprite. Okay, where is the width? Width is 16. Okay, so that should be our sprite. This is what we want. Okay, so it's saying here, down here now, notice the x is position 16 and the y is 0. The end is position 31. Okay, and the end is 15. Remember, we start from 0, so that's why this is 15. And 16 to 31 is 16. So we tell it to save. And it's going to ask us for a file. Now, the file is not .raw, but, and it is the cigarette, no? And it is .sm. So let's hope that the Amiga did the job right. So let's go to our visual code, see what we saved in our GFX directory. We should have sprite, sorry, cigarette, which I don't see. Where did I save it? Where did it save? It was there. Does this need to refresh? So that's the other thing. I'm not seeing it in the directory neither. Interesting. Go back to it and let's figure out where it's saved. Yeah, it is GFX P101, so it should be here. Iterate OK. Is it being funny? Hmm. The tool is being funny, I think. Or did I selected some wrong option? The path is definitely correct. I'm just going to do the test. But it's not even showing in the directory here, so it's like it's not saving it. Hmm. Interesting. Sprite, that's what we need, Sprite. I do not need this. That's what we need. No colors. And this user's having the colors there. This is throwing me away big time. Why the tool is not doing it? Hmm. I can use. Ah, hello, Darth Maul. Thanks for the follow. Anyone have an idea why? Ah, I can tell it raw. I can tell it raw and define constant. Let's see if it does raw. It should still do the same thing. I know why it's not doing it. I think I know. We imported it 32 colors. You see it's saying here depth of 5, depth 5 of 8. So yeah, if it was a sprite, I think the importation, let me see. Yeah, I think, yeah, long live Amiga. So I don't know if you've been following, how long you've been following me, but we are writing a simple game in assembly for the Amiga. This is episode number 8. And right now we are importing some sprites into our game. We do have sprites in the game already, but somebody did some graphics and actually Mega Style, who I need to thank. And we are importing those into the game. So yeah, interesting. So I know why I know why it is not doing the sprites, I think. So if I change to sprite, because I selected 32, oh, let's put this back to what it was. because I selected 32 colors, sprites cannot have so many. It should have been 16 colors, so it's not importing it. How can I to actually import the sprites as I want it? The image needs to be re-edited. So let me tell you what I mean. So these are our colors now for our sprites. This row needs to move into the first row. Okay, so the GFX artist preserved the colors of the background and added the colors of the sprites. But actually we need to ignore what we have in the background and move these here. That's why it's not importing it. It's telling me, hey, you can only have 16 colors with the sprites for all of them, and you will have more than 16. So how do you want me to divide um, the colors? What do you want me to do? It's getting confused. So yeah, that means that this file needs to be edited and all the colors swapped. But that was one method. I can, no I can't, because it's also 32 colors. I was going to tell you we can import them as binary, but I cannot import them as binary because the image we saved is 32 colors. So let's do them. Let's change in personal paint. Let's change the number of colors. So image format, of course, now they are going to lose no screen. So this goes back and this goes back and back. So it should proceed. Let's see if it will preserve the colors, because if it does, then we do not need to swap the colors. This is the part that because I'm not a GFX artist, I always struggling um, with these type of tools, converting the colors. Oh my god, I really do not like it. Oh, that's cool. It preserved the colors, as you can see. So now we have 16 colors, and in the first row. So if we save this, so let's overwrite what we had because it's no good anyway. And then we go into Workbench and use our tool, our lovely tool. Load it again. Let's see if this time it will work. So far so good. Now let's select one frame, one sprite. You need to be very precise. Do it as 16, yeah. And now we change it to sprite. Let's hope that define constant x is fine, and we save it. Let's see if it does it. And I'm going to use cigarette.s again. Let's see what it did. And I started Visual Studio for some reason, because I named it .s. So, oh yeah, now it did it. Look, there you go. This is a format of the sprite. So that looks okay, I think. I'm not sure if there's why 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there is 16, and then there is 16 there. Why it inserted dead zeros? Well, I do not understand those. And why do I have this I understand why it is there, but P should not be here. I don't understand why I inserted these. Anyway, it doesn't matter. That's the spread data, and we are only interested in this. So let's go to our code, and we find where the data is for our sprites. So here we're going to add another one. This one, let me add it at the beginning instead, because so that we do not need to modify code. Let's add it here. It is of same length, I hope. It should be one. That is line 16 lines, and here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it is 16. But hold on, these are long words. Why did that is not right? No, it did not copy it. It did not do it right. Now, it's not the first time I use the tool. I do not understand what I am doing wrong to be. Do you see that we have, so these are, so if we take one sprite, okay, it's made of one long word, no? And we have 16 of them, but here, I have 32. And this, and this, and this is the same. And they are there's a repetition. It's like it did the first two, instead of the one that I wanted. Now, this is not correct. It's going to cause confusion. Okay, I need to find why. So, earlier I told you everything is going smooth. There you go. And this is not code. There you go. Things can go wrong. So, let's go back to the Amiga. I told it it is sprite. I told it it's the X, no colors. I do not want colors. So let's try to do the first one. Maybe it needs the first one. Let's do from the beginning and see what it does. And we have 16 colors. That is the only doubt that I have, that I have an image with 16 colors. So that is a width of 16. And let's tell it to save. Yeah, because here it's using a depth of 4. Hello, Black Octet. Welcome to the stream. As you can see, I'm coding an Amiga game in assembly. It's a simple game. It's more for learning purposes more than anything else. This game was written for the Commodore 64 in assembly also, but we are converting it to the Amiga. It's a very simple game, and this is episode number 8. And practically now there are few things that needs to be done, but we have big part of the game ready. So let's save again, and this time let's call it Mr. 2. Let's put it like that, and let's see what it's going to do. So now it did the same. It's thinking I have 4-bit planes, so it needs to extract 4-bit planes. Are these, and they are not even the same. So the tool is extracting the information of the sprites wrongly. So what will happen if I change the colors to 4? Well, Black Octet, you can join my Discord channel also. You can see all the links at the upper right hand corner, and I also do 6502 assembly. So if you need any help, just go there. I do have things related to 6502, but not as much as I have for the Amiga, although I have to say I do a lot on the Commodore 64 myself. I do share code with my Patreons, with my supporters, whether it's Amiga or Commodore 64. But anyway, if you want to learn, please come and join, and happy to help. Okay, so let's change again the number of colors. This is what happens when you are not a graphic artist. So for me, it's easier to think of code than of colors. Change the image format, and let's make it 4 colors. Now, and I'm going to overwrite what we had. Of course, we're going to lose the colors now. What we have up here is going only to keep 4 colors, so it's going to optimize for 4 colors. Let's see what it's going to do. And there you go. So these sprites literally lost quite a bit by the change, and it basically noticed, yes, you have to, because as I said, there is no, I mean, this is the same if you use the Commodore 64. You have to use the tools for the Commodore 64. There is no tool out there on the PC that will allow you to save such a. They say they save IFF, okay? They do, but it's 256 colors. You cannot run it. You cannot have it 256 colors, and hence why I'm struggling. And those that leave the IFF as 256 colors, that means they are wasting lots of memory. And because actually you can write code that loads the IFF directly into your game. But if you do that, that means you have your image. Let's say it's 32 colors, okay? That means that your image is taking, each bit plane is 10K. If you have 5 bit planes, that means you have 50K. If you have 256 colors, that means you have 128K. So because you have to decrunch, I mean, IFF is compressed now, so you have to uncompress it. Once you uncompress it, you need 128K if you have 256 colors. And that is why you need to use the Amiga. So anyway, this is it's not the first time, I have to say, that I encountered problems with colors, and eventually I solve it. But because I'm not a graphic artist, my head is not able to think in terms of colors. But yeah, so let's save it. And now we load it into our tool. Okay, so now we have 4 colors, the amount that these sprites can have. It based everything on the first sprite. Unbelievable how it changed the colors. But anyway, so let's do our first sprite, and let's see that it will export it properly. So these values do not change, so save. And now we have a depth of 2. So that is correct. For sprites, you need depth of 2. Let's save there. And and there you go. Now we did it the right way. That is how it should be. Exactly that. So I just learned a lesson in a way that I should not give this tool anything that is greater than a depth of 2 for sprites. That's the lesson there. So now we can import that into our game. I'm just going to give it the put it here. I'm going to, just for the sake of showing it right now, I'm going to remove cotton from here. Okay, so cotton is gone. We name this cotton, although it's not cotton. And we should see that every time the game selects cotton, we should see our Mr. Pooh. Of course, the colors will not match. That is understood, but we should be able to see it. So let's see what it's going to do the game. For those that just joined, collision detection is not implemented yet, okay? Let's see if we see Mr. Pooh coming against Mr. Pooh. Oh, there it is, but it's also inverted. So yeah, it's taking the green color, but the image is inverted. It's okay, but at least the importation was there. I mean, that is something that can be fixed. It's colors now, so it's not a. I mean, we have the same issue um, in the HUD where I need to sort out the colors, swap where is black becomes blue and where is blue for the letters becomes black. So for this one, we need to do the same thing. It's more to show how to import them more than, um, and the trouble that you might encounter. We have green one because it went into a different range of the sprites. If you notice, the sprites I have green, red, and blue. So it depends which pair the sprite takes. If it takes the first two, then it is green. If it is the second two, then it is red. If it is the third, then it is blue or cyan or whatever you want to call it. Right now, the colors of the sprites are really are going to be the last thing that we do, or close to the last thing that we do, because there's a routine that needs to still be implemented in relation to colors, to the colors of the sprites. What I mean by that is, right now, any sprite can be in any position, okay? But in reality, because of the color combinations, okay, we cannot have that, as the colors won't match of the sprite. So let's say we have a bunch of them which will be in the uh, color range of the green, let's say, another bunch of them which will be in the color range of the red, and another bunch of them which will be in the color range of the blue. The colors will be different. I'm just using those colors to show the difference. For me, knowing the color, seeing the color as it is right now, it's telling me which range we are. You're also noticing that, not noticing because I'm noticing it on my screen and I'm noticing it on OBS. If you are seeing it, if you are seeing the sprites not moving smoothly up the screen, it's not because they are not moving, but it's because of the stream. So I can assure you, on the Amiga, this runs very smoothly. I mean, come on, it's just 6 sprites. It cannot be. It cannot be that it doesn't make it. Um, it's not able to do it. So yeah, I think for today, it it will slow down if I move that yes. Look, if I move the emulator, then yes, it will slow down. But as is, no. Oops, I minimized. So thank you very much. Have a good week.